my screen, we've got a nice PowerPoint for you today, but we will also be following up tomorrow with some calls. So let's get started and then we'll help clarify some things either later in this discussion we're going to have or through one of our calls tomorrow. But we are here for the Sport and Performance Psychology Admission webinar. At least that's what I hope you're here for. If you're not, don't worry. We have some other webinars that may be of interest to you. But today we're going to discuss our Master of Science and our Graduate Certificate in Sport and Performance Psychology. And so actually, let me just back up a little bit. First, my name is Georgia Goody, and I'm the Associate Director of Admission here for University of Western States. And like I mentioned, today we'll be going over 2 of these programs. We do have lots of information in the following slides, but I want to take a moment to encourage you to reach out to our front office with any questions that you may have. We will get you connected with an advisor that could answer those questions more in detail, perhaps even get you started on an application or answer questions about an application you've already begun. And you can visit our website to get that information, or we can schedule an advising appointment and we'll get you that information in your email through one of our advisors. But before we get started, I want to go over a few housekeeping items. So today's webinar will be aiming to get you in and out in about 30 minutes. Not a ton of time, but we'll have time to go over everything. If you've got questions for us, I do want to point to the Q&A feature. So please do feel free to use that. We'll try to get to them during our presentation today. But if we don't, by using that Q&A feature, we can get a heads up about some of the questions that you'll have when we do give you a call. We may reach out via email or via phone, but that will help us know what questions you have. Just a note on that. If you do want to ask a question, I suggest that you put your name just in case we don't get a chance to follow up in the webinar. We'll be able to know who asked it afterwards. You do have the anonymous option if you'd prefer, but if you'd like us to make sure that we get that question answered for you, go ahead and leave that on under your name. All right, so for today's schedule, we will explore the history of University of Western States. We are going to introduce you to our program director of the SPP program, and then we're going to talk about some of the ways that UWS distinguishes itself and prepares you for those educational goals that you have. So we're going to briefly review some aspects that make our program stand out from the rest. We'll also pop in for a moment to the SPP learning community and look at the curricula before we're talking about what your next steps look like to apply to University of Western States. And then finally, we will provide you with an overview of financial aid before encouraging you again to reach out for more information. All right, University of Western States has had a long history at the forefront of health and wellness in the Pacific Northwest. We were founded in 1904, originally as a chiropractic college. In fact, the second oldest chiropractic college in the world. Since then, our institution has grown, and as our institution grew, we incorporated other areas of health into our programs and have new exciting curricula added. We currently offer online graduate degree programs. We offer graduate certificates, and for those interested in on-campus stuff, we also offer a chiropractic and doctor of naturopathic medicine degree that takes place in Portland, Oregon. But the degree we're talking about today, the graduate certificate we're talking about today, those are ones that are online. So Dr. Sarah Castillo completed her bachelor's degree in psychology at UCLA, her master's degree in kinesiology at Cal State Long Beach, and her PhD at University of Idaho. She is a certified mental performance consultant, a CMPC, which is a common goal for people going through our programs. She is also an approved CMPC mentor through the Association for Applied Sports Psychology. She currently even serves on the AASP Executive Board as the Professional Standards Division Head, and she helps oversee activities related to certification, ethics, and then continuing education. Before she came to UWS, she was at National University in San Diego, and she served as a program director for the sports psychology program, as well as the editor-in-chief for the Journal of Performance Psychology, and even was the co-director of the Center for Performance Psychology. So she has just a wealth of experiences. She is a wonderful resource, and she currently is still working with a variety of collegiate teams and individual athletes. So she'll be able to give you that perspective from the classroom and also real life. So, why choose UWS and this sport and performance psychology program? As we mentioned previously, this is a program that is 100% online. And this graduate program provides students with the skills in positive and applied sports psychology that are needed to enhance performance and transform lives. That is a very common goal here that people want to elevate performance. This is the place to learn how to do it. So, we've been recognized by bestcolleges.com for our outstanding psychology degrees, and our master's degree credits can transfer into your doctoral program, saving you time. So, we'll very briefly touch on that today in case you may be interested in a longer road in sport and performance psychology. We do offer a doctorate. The US or UWS curriculum offers a variety of classes in sport and performance psychology, and these are designed for students to be completing specialized requirements that they have to become a certified mental performance consultant, the CMPC, like we mentioned earlier, through the Association of Applied Sports Psychology, the AASP. So, our program is designed for students who want to guide others to success, students who want to create and lead highly effective teams, and students who want to use positive motivation and communication techniques to elevate performance. So, what is sport and performance psychology? When we say at UWS, sport and performance psychology, what we mean is that we are using positive and applied sports psychology to optimize your skills and transform your abilities, as you see there on the screen. We're talking about the ability to guide athletes and performers to their performance goals. Sports psychology looks at the interactions between psychology and sport performance. That could include the psychological aspects of optimal athletic performance. That could include the psychological care and well-being of athletes and performers and their teams. It could include the connection between the physical and the psychological and how that impacts function for these people performing at a high level. But whether it's on the stage or it's on the field, our SPP program will give you the skills to coach others to optimize themselves and their performances when it really, really matters. We work with a wide range of folks, some of those folks being athletes, other people being high performers in other capacities as well. So, our SPP community, like I was just mentioning, we come from a lot of different backgrounds. We've got students from all over the world. They are in many phases of their career. So, these experiences that they're bringing, they serve to enrich the classroom discussions and they ensure a variety of perspectives in the classroom. And our instructors and their backgrounds are just as varied. So, we have them with previous experience in sports nutrition, exercise science, psychology, counseling, many other fields where they are pulling this information and experience from. So we encourage strong relationships between instructors and students. We encourage continued dialogue as students explore sport and performance psychology and the scientific world through these discussions, through research, and then, of course, through lectures. And I mentioned we'd stop by briefly to talk about the difference between the master's and the EDD that we offer. We do offer a doctoral degree, like I mentioned. So one of the first steps when exploring our curriculum is to identify which one of these educational paths is the right one for you. Our master's degree is for those who are looking for experience in the field of psychology, sport management, athletic wellness, and they already hold a bachelor's degree. This is also a wonderful program looking for students who might want to be switching up their career, maybe looking for a second career path. And you can see that we have two concentrations in this program, either positive coaching or applied practice. So we have more resources about which pathway may be the right one for you, but a little cheat sheet available for us here. You can distinguish them or maybe figure out which one is speaking to you more at this moment. We say choose the applied practice concentration if you're thinking, I want to get that CMPC certification, and a master's degree is your final educational goal. So getting a head start on the process of mentorship and completing the required mentorship hours is essential for moving you forward after your master's degree in SPP, and we can get you that head start. Or Feel free to choose the positive coaching concentration if you're wanting to combine your knowledge of sport and performance psychology with greater effectiveness as a leader in your chosen field, whether or not that is athletics or another high performance area. So you're going to learn to apply the principles of positive psychology to improve communication, to improve motivation and engagement of those around you, and overall enhancing the performance of any organization. Now, I'll let you just go ahead and read there a little bit longer. I see we have a question about GPA. We will get that in a little bit, and we'll have that for you up on the screen. So let's continue forward. So we'll briefly stop by our graduate certificate before we show you those finer details. But if you are currently looking to add some nuance and expertise to your work, our graduate certificate might be right for you. So this graduate certificate in applied sports psychology does require that you have a bachelor's degree, that you have a background that has a bachelor's degree. And we estimate that it'll wrap up in about 9 months. Some folks do take up to a year. So our graduate certificate credits, if you do choose to move on, they will transfer into other degree programs. That may be of interest to you if you're just trying this out and not sure if you may like to go into a degree program. But the classes from the graduate certificate do meet content knowledge components that are established by the AASP, so may complete some of those CMPC requirements. All right, let's go through that master's curriculum really quickly here. We just have a very brief overview. You can see the total credits there, but students pursuing the Certified Mental Performance Consultant certification rest easy knowing that we meet those K designated areas of knowledge. So once you've completed our required classes, you can dive deeper into that positive coaching concentration, pardon me, or whatever concentration you may be choosing. Every student also completes a capstone course. So the capstone project could be a research paper, could be a comprehensive examination, but the total number of credits to complete our master's program is going to be 54 quarter credits or 36 semester credits. We're on the quarter system, and so that means there are 4 terms in a year. All right, so the format is laid out here for this graduate certificate, so you can see that program structure there. So the format is going to be online. It is 9 months, and then that graduate certificate is going to be 28 quarter credits. And then here's that program structure for the master's degree. A little bit longer for this one. So 10 required courses in total, 3 electives, including, or sorry, in addition to that, that capstone course as well. And your online learning experience here will have different ways of keeping you connected to your learning, but here's a preview of what some of them will look like. So students are completing weekly or bi-weekly assigned readings. These are often supplemented by lectures that are available via our online platform. We're currently using Canvas if you've used that before. And then you'll watch lectures when it's convenient for you and then participate in weekly class discussions that give you a chance to exchange ideas and get to know those virtual classmates. This is similar to the flipped classroom format, if you've ever used that before, where you're doing your studying at home, and then when you come together, that's when you're really diving into the discussion aspect of things. Everybody's familiar with the topic, and then we clarify once we get together. So I want to review some of the pathways that people have taken at UWS. We understand the importance of obtaining a professional degree that bridges the theoretical foundations and praxis. So with our graduate degree options, you can pursue a variety of career options. You can see a few of them there. Some people may be looking towards education. Others are looking towards consulting. They might be a certified mental performance consultant, as we mentioned, or a certified sports nutritionist. Whatever your goal may be, we can help you learn more about how to get there. And we have some great folks that are leading us at this program and would be happy to share their experience. Some people do have a combination of these efforts and have a lot of nuance in what they're doing day to day and maybe switching things up and doing a combination of these. but we do have a robust network of professionals who are happy to talk about their experience. These are folks that our alumni services departments have helped us identify. They can be helpful for things like supervised mentorships. They can connect you with recent graduates or even sometimes current students. Our program director, also just a wonderful resource if questions do pop up. And I see somebody asking if a bachelor's in psychology is required. Just a bachelor's is required. So that can be in any topic, doesn't necessarily have to be a bachelor's in psychology. So I know we said the GPA requirement is coming up here. That will be on the screen here. But for most of our programs, 2.75 or 3.0 is the GPA minimum. I mentioned that because it varies depending on the level of program that you're looking at. Again, we'll see it in a little bit, but didn't want to ignore your question. So, how should you apply if you are interested in applying? If you're ready to apply to University of Western States, we do recommend connecting with an admissions advisor. I know I've already said that a bunch of times, but we do. We think it's great, and that way we can help determine not only what the right fit for you is as far as program, but when a good start time would be. We can take a look at your background and let you know how that aligns with our admission requirements. So we'll help you determine all of that stuff and see whether or not spring or fall is our best time to start. Submitted applications do require a $50 application fee. There are some short entrance or just a short entrance essay about your goals and experiences for the SPP program that does get a little bit more specific. So be sure to take note of that in the application. You'll see that application prompt there. But no matter what the application or what the essay prompt is, rather, that essay will be between 250 and 500 words. So it is a brief essay. We do also require official transcripts from each and every institution attended, and then 2 letters of recommendation and a personal interview with the director, associate director, or a faculty member. So those recommendation letters, we do suggest that those come from academic sources, especially for this program. So if that is for you, if you're thinking that master's degree sounds really intriguing, do start thinking about who may be a good fit for that. If you don't currently have a connection to the academic world right now, or it's been a long time, we do occasionally accept older references that may have been from a little bit ago, but could be updated to now, or we can talk about some other options with your admissions advisor one-on-one in case neither of those fit the pathway that you're currently on. But do let us know if you have any concerns about that, and we'll make sure to find a way forward. And then admitted students will also be expected once you're admitted to deposit in the class. That's a really important thing. So that's what helps unlock your login credentials when it's time to go to class. That's what they base that on. So once admitted to the program, don't forget to deposit. That $300 deposit is applied to your first term's tuition. So that first term will be less by $300 when you submit that deposit. I see somebody just asked how we connect with an academic advisor. The academic advisors are folks you will connect with after admission closer to the term to make sure you have everything you need. But our admission advisors are the people who would be great to chat with now. We'll have a number and an email address at the end of this presentation that will be to our front desk. That is a perfect place to send even just your name and I am interested in a program at UWS, and we will zoom that off to one of our admission advisors who will give you a call. So just let us know that you want to call. We'll give you a few ways to do that at the end of the program today, but we look forward to chatting with you. So again, what else do you need? We already mentioned a few of these. Log in and become familiar with the portal. Make sure to submit those official transcripts. If you're an international student, we can help provide clarity about what we need there, but we would need an official credit evaluation for those schools that were, or those degrees that were earned abroad outside the US and Canada. Like we mentioned, you'll also, if applying for that master's in sport and performance psychology, have an interview as well. So that interview is one that typically happens on Tuesdays, just to give you a heads up, and it usually is just once a week. So the sooner you're able to get your application done, especially if you're looking towards this spring, the better position you are, because those interviews do fill. I was just taking a look earlier and wanted to let everybody know know on the webinar that right now our started applications, we've got more started applications than currently scheduled interview slots. Now, we can always expand that if we find that we need to, but I like to let people know it's important to plan ahead because those interview slots, they do run out. They happen just once a week. So I always like to let people know that if you're thinking about applying, doing so in January will be a big, big help because February is busy and we would hate for you to miss your chance to interview. Let's talk a little about a bit about tuition and financial aid. So all students do need to be enrolled in 5 quarter credits. Again, quarter system. So we're going on quarter credits, 5 quarter credits. That's often about 2 classes. And they need to remain in good academic standing throughout their degree to qualify for financial aid through UWS. So students who apply for financial aid or payment plans, they can do that through our financial aid and business office. I like to let people know that your financial aid package is something that comes after admission to a program. So if you have already filled out that FAFSA for this year, and great job if you did, because they do release it on January 1st, so you were quick if you filled it out for this year. But if you did already, way to go. And after you were admitted to a program, shortly after that, typically within a week or two, could be as long as a month in our very busiest time. So we try to get it to you sooner. We will put together a package for you and present that to you, and you're able to say yes or reject it if needed. All right, some final tips for us to keep in mind. We are making fantastic time, everybody. Online advisors do have a quick and easy way to book appointments. So when you connect with our front desk and admissions at uws.edu, that'll be on our final slide, but that is the email address, admissions at uws.edu. When you connect with us, we will reply to you with a link and the name of your advisor, and that link will be a very, very easy way to pick a time to chat. You'll go and click the type of appointment that you like. You'd go the day that works for you, and it will show you all the times available. You can then type in your name. Maybe if you have a short question or topics you want to talk about, there's a little spot to do that too. That will then send it off to your admissions advisor, and that admission advisor on that date will give you a call. You'll also get an email that confirms that appointment, so you can put in your own calendar as well. Like I mentioned, this is our busiest time of year. Those applications, they're really starting to build. So if you're one of the people who has an application in, maybe you've been sitting on it for a little bit, you're not sure what the time is to submit, while you can see that the spring 2024, the very, very final deadline is February 18th. That is the very, very final deadline. That is the last day you could submit any of those items for an application. We strongly suggest you aim for before that date. If you might be looking towards fall, go ahead and peek there. Right next to spring 2024 is fall 2024. That one does have a deadline that is in August, so a little bit longer. All right, as I mentioned, there are some next steps here for you. I'll go ahead and let you read all this for just a moment while I check those questions. I saw somebody mention that they were an active duty service member. Thank you for your service. Also, we do have a specific veteran services coordinator that could help you out with getting all those things arranged. We've got the Yellow Ribbon program. We've got a whole website. So do be sure to mention this whenever our admissions advisors give you a call, because I'm sure they'd love to send that page your way. And then we have a contact in our registrar's office, in our business office, that will be sure to keep you in the loop and make sure everything is going through smoothly for you. And I saw somebody mention how many people are accepted into your program. So this can vary, and this is one of the amazing things about an online program. We, of course, have an amount that typically join us. I would say that amount, actually, this last year, it went up quite a bit. This last fall, we had, I believe, about 40 people join us, which is a fantastic group of people. That can vary between 20 and 40 people in past terms, but it is certainly growing, which is fantastic. But one of the things I really like is that by having an online program, we can operate a little bit like an accordion because we use another support system called course facilitators. So you'll have the professor at the top of your course, and the next level below them will be our course facilitators. They work in smaller groups of 15, maybe 20 students, and they provide an extra level of support for you. So while you may be in a class that's a little bit larger, let's say it's got 40 to 50 students, that would be a large class, it will not feel like 40 to 50 students because you have a smaller umbrella that you are nestled under, so another support system to help you out. So typically we're looking around 40 students, at least that's what fall had, but that can vary a little bit depending on what the needs look like. All right. And then some folks mentioned that they maybe don't meet that GPA need. And my apologies, it may not have been on here. Let me just go ahead and repeat that again. That 2.75 typically is the GPA for something like our master's degree. For educational doctorates, those typically look like 3.0. If you don't meet those needs or don't meet those minimums right now, let's have a conversation. Often there's something like a GRE that could be submitted. Perhaps you have other educational experience that could help uh, demonstrate that you have grown since that other educational experience. So that is another really, really fantastic thing to chat with that admissions advisor about, and we'll come up with a custom plan for you that meets your needs that we can have you moving forward. But I appreciate that question. That's a great one. All right. Let's go ahead and head to our final page. I've been asking really amazing questions, but I want you to have all of those different numbers that I mentioned, those emails that I mentioned. If you head online, we do have a place where they've got a few FAQs. This is a neat place to check out. We've also got past webinars on our admissions website under Connect with Admissions Virtually. Our YouTube channel has a lot of interviews with alumni, or maybe you still have some questions. Maybe you're thinking, well, I'd like to know about my situation specifically. If that is the case, we are going to give you a call tomorrow. If we don't get you on the phone, we'll send you an email. And if you're watching this later, we do record this and send it out. Feel free to write us and we'll get you questions then. But we are happy to talk about your individual circumstances and figure out what the best path is for you and your circumstances. So do reach out to us if financial aid is where you have questions. You can see that email at the very bottom there, but the number to have, the email to have is that admissions@uws.edu. All right, I'm just checking to see if there's any final questions. You know what? I don't know how many CMPC mentors are on staff at UWS. I can make a note and let's see if we can get back to you. And the GRE is not required. I see somebody asked if you do meet the GPA requirement. So that's the great news. If you are above that 2.75 or 3.0, depending on the program, you do not need to take the GRE. And then I see there's a question about cost per credit. We do have those online. I will let you know, but I don't want to misquote it. I don't have it right in front of me. So Bailey, I will reach out to you individually to let you know, but thank you for your question. And that information, in case you're looking, head to the UWS website or head to Google and look up University of Western States tuition and financial aid. It'll be the first thing that pops up. But again, if you have this question when we connect with you tomorrow, ideally, then we will send that right to your email as well. All right, folks, I'm on the lookout for any final questions, but I do appreciate you spending time with me. We are scooping in right underneath that 30 minutes, so incredible job. We were really efficient today. I will go ahead and let you go, but I just wanted to say, really appreciate you joining us today. We look forward to having a conversation with you, ideally getting your application in time to admit you for spring or even fall if you might be looking towards that term instead. But hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Really appreciate you stopping by, and we look forward to being of help. Thanks.